Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video I'll be going through all of today's vintage collection reveals from the Hasbro livestream, looking at the high-res images in detail, giving you my thoughts, and of course letting you know the all-important pre-order information. So if you enjoy the video, hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And with all that being said, let's get into this. So all of today's reveals are from the new Ahsoka series, which makes sense really as Hasbro advertised the live stream as that. However, some of the pipeline reveals are from other entertainment, and spoiler alert, they are on fire. So first up we have Morgan Elsbeth. Now I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't really wish that Baylan and Shin were revealed, considering they were pretty awesome villains in the show, but Morgan does seem to be the main villain at this point in time, at least until Grand Admiral Thrawn turns up anyway. So I'm glad she's coming to the line, and Hasbro seem to have done a pretty good job with the likeness, which includes the witch's tattoo on her forehead. But as this is TVC, we get a really nice soft goods skirt, which is actually part of her dress in the show. If you compare this figure to the Black Series version, I really do feel that soft goods was definitely the way to go, and is one of the many reasons why I prefer 3.75 inch figures in general. As I say, if you compare her to the Black Series version, I do think that the TVC has the better of the two figures. Next up is HK87, which is one of those assassin droids, and the version of this figure that the designers had in hand in the live stream looks far better than the one in these images, in my opinion. I think the red was much more toned down, more of a darker red, and matched the source material. This is an all red version rather than the two-toned red and tan version that we've seen in the show, but I'm certain this won't be the last time we see this droid. Hasbro will no doubt use this sculpt again to give us a different version in the future. I'm pretty certain of that. I haven't really talked about the card backs for these two figures. They did mention in the live stream that essentially they didn't really have too much source material to go by to do the card backs, so they have done a bit of photoshopping on them, but I think they look pretty good, both of them, for Morgan and the HK87 Droid. They look pretty decent. And then we have General Hera Syndulla herself, the main character from the series, it seems, apart from Ahsoka herself, of course. This is the pilot or owner of the Ghost, and this version of Hera is the one that we see in the live action show, and it looks awesome. I think they've captured her likeness really, really well. I like the Ghost logo on the back of her jacket, and just the all-round sculpt looks fantastic. Talking about the card for a second, I do love the purple on this one. We don't really get a purple name pill too often. In fact, I'm struggling to think of any right now off the top of my head where we've had like a purple name pill and the panel behind the figure. But it looks really good, and of course the image of her looks to be straight from the show as well. But the figure itself looks great. I think they've done a great job on her representation from the Ahsoka series, and I'm really looking forward to these figures. All three of these figures will be available to pre-order on August 30th, which, depending on when you're listening to this video, is either tomorrow or today. And these will be available at 1 PM Eastern time, which is 6 PM UK time. And as far as I'm aware, they are all, going to be part of a wave, the last two waves of the year. These figures are going to be included in those, so you'll be able to pre-order them with the other figures from the wave if you haven't already. The other thing to mention about the General Hera Syndulla figure is that it is going to be VC300, which I was actually quite surprised by. I didn't think it would be so soon. I thought it would be saved for a figure next year, and in my mind I had Princess Leia as being the perfect opportunity to do that. And of course they end up pipelining her as well, which we will get onto in a minute, the pipelines. Princess Leia Organa was one of those, and for me that would have been the perfect VC300 if they could have waited that long, because we're at that number almost already anyway. But I think they could have stretched it a little bit further and given the, VC300, not that the numbers really matter that much, but if they're going to put weight behind it, then put some real weight behind it and give it to Princess Leia Organa from A New Hope. But they haven't. They've given it to Hera, so whatever, it's still pretty good, of course. But moving on to those pipelines, let's talk about the pipelines. They have also pipelined Chopper. Now this isn't the Chopper that you're going to be getting with the mural card back if we hit 17,000 from the Ghost. This is Chopper from the Ahsoka series and will be on an Ahsoka card back. Not really too sure why they didn't reveal it along with the others, but it has been pipelined, and I'm pretty certain that he will be available again in one of the waves before the end of the year. We also got revealed a deluxe Jango Fett in the pipeline, which is awesome news for everybody, I'm sure. We do need a new Jango Fett. I would imagine that he'll probably use some of the parts that we've got from those awesome Mandalorians that we've had over the last year or so, with some accessories which we don't know what they are yet, but hopefully they'll be like his poncho and the rocket effects and all those kind of good stuff that you get in those deluxe packs. They also revealed in the pipeline Rex from the Bad Batch, which is, you know, I hope it's not going to be that one from that Bad Batch 4-pack. I'm pretty sure it's not, judging by the image that they've used. Hopefully they're going to be using that new Phase 2 Clone Trooper body, and then we'll get a really, really good Captain Rex from the Bad Batch. Next up in the pipeline, we've got Darth Vader from A New Hope. I think this is a pretty obvious one for them to do, especially as we've now got that Dark Times Darth Vader body. They've used it for the Return of the Jedi version, and now we're getting a Darth Vader from A New Hope, which will be awesome, won't it? Because at the end of the day, that's the first film. That's the first time you see him, and I'm looking forward to the card back. I am wondering whether they'll go back to that original card back from the Kenner days, or maybe they'll do a new one, because we've already got that card back for VC93, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Also pipeline was an R2-D2, and I can only imagine that this is going to be an all-new R2-D2, because why pipeline an R2 when you've already got lots of different sculpts of R2 in the line already? So hopefully that's following on from the Black Series, and we're going to get an all-new R2-D2, which will then be used for more Astromechs in the future, hopefully, anyway. Luke X-Wing to me sounds like a reissue. Again, that'll have to be confirmed, but, you know, I really can't see what else they're going to do to that figure. To me, that sounds like a reissue. Same with the Stormtrooper. I think they might just be getting that one out there again, because A New Hope Stormtrooper with the rocker ankles was a Walmart exclusive before, so maybe they're just sort of reissuing that one, getting it back out there. We're always asking them to do that anyway, so hopefully that is the case. And then they also pipelined a HK87, wasn't it, again, or a 47, I can't remember, in a 2-pack with the Jedi Revan. So they're already using the Revan new sculpt to make a Jedi version, just like they did in the Black Series. I've predicted they'll do that before. It's pretty obvious. They're not going to just waste that sculpt. And I think they said they're carrying forward that droid into that 2-pack as a way of costing it out, really. But interesting to see what that 2-pack will look like. Will it be like the Ewoks one? We still haven't seen the packaging or anything revealed for the Obi-Wan and Battle Damage Vader one, so it'll be interesting to see that as well. No doubt we'll probably see that at PulseCon. So there you go, my friends. We had 3 TVC figures to look at today. We've also had a bunch of pipelines. I hope you agree with me that that pipeline list is pretty awesome compared to the pipelines that we got at, SDCC. These are really good pipelines in my opinion. Can't wait to see the R2-D2. Obviously can't wait to see the Leia. And it just shows that they are listening, and they did mention making the mains, and that she will be the first of those. So we're going to be getting the others at some point as well, which is great news. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and channel members. And we shall see you on the next one.